Good morning, and thank you for joining us for a very special announcement today. I'd like to begin by welcoming our very honored guests. We have Arkadi Kuhlmann, an HBA grad of 1971 and an MBA of 1972. And for those of you that may not know, and I doubt there are many that don't know, he's the chairman and the president of ING Direct USA and chair of Ivey's advisory board. And he's also, just in case we don't keep him busy enough, he's also the co-chair of our campaign for leadership. And he's here with his wife, Cynthia Wong. Also, we have Peter Aceto. He's the president and CEO of ING Direct Canada, and his wife, Sylvia, is with him, beside Peter. And Jim Kelly, the COO, ING Direct USA, and our president, Dr. Chakma. So welcome to all our guests. It has truly been an outstanding year for Ivey. I would say in my 6 years here, it's been one of the most exciting and busiest years that I think I have ever experienced. From the launch of the Center for Health Innovation and Leadership that was back in the early part of the year, to the groundbreaking for our new Ivey building in September, this year has actually proven to be a year where Ivey has taken some very giant steps forward in so many areas. And one of the areas that I am very proud of and I think is so important to the school is the growth of our faculty team. We had 8 new members that we welcomed this year, and we're on a path to recruit 20 new members for next year. The plans are well underway. I met a couple this morning who had to buy winter coats. But truly it is great to see the quality of the faculty that are joining Ivey, which we need desperately if we're going to continue to grow the programs, as we said we would as part of our strategy. We're also growing, though, with a very inspiring purpose and a very thoughtful plan. For me, there is no better reason to grow Ivey than to advance the economic strength and the social well-being of our country. You could not have a better purpose for a business school. And developing those outstanding leaders requires a very unique and an exceptional business education, one that reflects the real world and prepares students to address the complex challenges in a global environment and capitalizes on the multitude of opportunities that it offers. We were just talking about that before we came down here, about how complex things have become, even in finance. What used to be pretty simple, straightforward accounting principles, for example, are getting a little disturbed. So complexity is growing, it's global, and there are some great challenges. It does require exceptional students. It requires those students, though, to be mentored and to be challenged by great professors. And they become actually very extraordinary partners in the learning that takes on the students' experience here at Ivey. So our investment in faculty is the source of all our growth. It's the Ivey professors that drive the growth in business and academic communities alike. Whether it's case writing, whether it's innovative research, along with the long-term partnerships that we have with companies like ING that ensure that we stay well connected to the real world. For this reason, one of the most critical components of our campaign for leadership, which is $125 million in total, is an investment of $45 million in faculty leadership. And over the goal of the life of the campaign is to create 14 new faculty chairs to assist in recruiting some great faculty, as well as 10 fellowships and 9 professorships to support current and leading scholars that we have here at Ivey. So I am very pleased to be standing before you to announce the leadership support of ING Direct Canada and ING Direct USA, who have stepped up their outstanding commitment to the Ivey Business School. Today, it is my pleasure to inform you that thanks to ING, we have a new $2.5 million endowed chair in finance to support our recruitment efforts for the coming year. And this will be going forward this afternoon when we leave here at Senate to be endorsed by them and also with the board. This commitment, though, I should point out to you, of the $2.5 million gift is in addition to a $2.5 million gift that we received in 2007 to establish the ING Leadership Center in Toronto, which brings their total commitment to $5 million to the campaign. And I know the ING Leadership Center in Toronto has just been a marvelous addition to Ivey's brand, to be able to bring executives into our EMBA program in a fabulous location. So when you think about that and you think about the impact that this finance chair is going to have, I think it's really a great tribute to ING to have figured out and partnered with us to understand our needs and helped us along the way. The new chair position, which marks the first fully endowed chair in the campaign, as well as the second leader donor gift, will be among the top faculty appointments at Ivey. It's going to help to continue to develop innovative and relevant research and teaching materials in the area of finance, and in particular, to address some very pressing issues that we read about every day in the newspaper in the area of finance. In addition, ING Direct Canada will create a distinguished lecture series in finance to honor Ivey's Advisory Board Chair, Arkadi Kuhlmann. So we are thrilled once again to raise the bar on our partnership with ING, a truly global enterprise and one of the world's top financial institutions, whose entrance into the North American market began in Canada. Like Ivey, ING has been a great innovator and a trailblazer with extraordinary commitment to the customer experience. And as a customer, when I sign on, I can attest to it's one of the easiest websites, I think, to navigate of the many that customers are expected to navigate. It's a very powerful relationship between a global business and a global business school. So Arkadi, Peter, and Jim, on behalf of all the students, many of whom are writing exams, by the way, the faculty and the staff at Ivey, I extend our deepest thanks to you. I can think of no better way to celebrate both the accomplishments of 2009 and the great opportunities of the year ahead than with this very momentous leadership gift. So again, please join me in a round of thanks to our great partners from ING. It is now my pleasure to invite Western's 10th president and vice chancellor, I hope you're not counting the months though, Dr. Amit Shakma, to say a few words.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the University of Western Ontario, it's my great pleasure to participate in this wonderful event. I was kind of filling out all those Christmas cards and hoping for some Christmas good news. Here it is. Thank you. Thank you very much. We are so pleased to welcome you, nearly all, essentially back home. We are so proud that you carry the Ivey banner and the Western banner. Welcome home. And in some of my notes I was writing to our alum, I said, well, we are so proud to be able to claim you to be one of our own. I think that applies to nearly all of you here. You have been a great friend to Western. Although I'm relatively new, every day I see how you have touched us. Whenever I go to Toronto, I look at that ING Leadership Center with great pride. If we didn't have it, I would be working very hard to have one. I'm glad you helped us to get that. Today we celebrate, of course, a new chapter in our relationship, partnership and friendship. And with the establishment of this lecture and the chair, it'll really help us. It'll really help us solidify the foundation that we have for the business school. And as I was looking at some of the values that ING holds, I can very quickly relate to a few items that we all can apply as we manage the affairs of this school and the university. So number one that I like is really number one. We will spend less than we earn. And that is not always the case. Right? The second point I liked is really number 7, will invest for the long term. And true to your belief, what you're doing here is really investing in that long term for the school and our future. The international stature of our school has been achieved through a combination of innovative curriculum, and Arkadi, you participated in that in your past life. Truly outstanding faculty, teachers, and researchers, and a global perspective on business and business education. We have succeeded because of a vision that is both broad in scope and refined in its academic and professional focus. Ivey is a Canadian and world leader, and our partnership with such a far-sighted and dedicated friends in the business community as ING has enabled us to achieve this status. And with this support, we'll take it one step further. I thank you on behalf of the Weston family, from the bottom of our hearts for your support. And one thing that we need the most at Weston, at Ivey, is really those endowed chairs. Over the years, we have done a great job in providing the best educational experience to our students. And what we need to do is to make sure that we continue to attract and retain the best minds who can come and teach our students. And your chair will help us not only today, in days ahead. So thank you very much. And let me now invite Peter Aceto, President and CEO of ING Bank Canada, one of our proud graduates. Peter, please come and take the podium.
Good morning, everyone. It really is with great honor and excitement that I'm here today with my ING Direct USA colleagues and on behalf of nearly 1,000 ING Direct Canada employees as well. I really do have the privilege to lead this wonderful group of people who really are dedicated to innovation, dedicated to our customers, and dedicated to our vision at ING Direct to give the power of saving to all Canadians, and really to change the way banking is done in this country. But as I speak to students and I talk to working families and even just reading the newspaper this morning, I've come to believe that a few corporations and a few leaders in the last 10 years have really damaged the way corporations are perceived and the level of respect that their leaders have in society. As a company, ING Direct really is deeply rooted in the belief that corporations have a vital role to play in the communities in which we do business. We have an obligation to be transparent, to be open, to tell the truth, to be accountable to our customers, to be accountable to our shareholders, our employees, and to Canadians in general. And it is this deep-rooted belief, I believe, that drives our philanthropic activities. Sure, we give money to a variety of different causes, but we also think giving our time and our expertise really goes the extra mile in these activities. Although we have and will continue to give lots of our time and some of our resources to these relationships, I think our long-standing relationship with the Richard Ivey School of Business is very, very special to ING Direct and always has been. Of course, each of Arkadi and Jim and my wife Sylvia are proud Western graduates, as you rightly pointed out, and we have very, very fond memories of our years in London. Me was actually here in London for a very long time. We also use and enjoy the wonderful ING Leadership Center in downtown Toronto and are very proud to be a part of that very impressive facility that really has allowed the Ivey School of Business to become Canada's leading executive MBA program and a real leader in terms of providing executive level development programs, which is something I think we should together be very proud of. Most importantly, each of us at ING Direct work with graduates from the Ivey School every single day, and I can truly tell you that these are some of the brightest, most eager, well-prepared business students that we get to work with every single day, which I think is a real tribute to the fine program, fine curriculum, and fine faculty here at Ivey. Which is why it is really with great pleasure that we're here today to announce our continued commitment to the Richard Ivey School of Business. And I'm particularly excited about how this commitment is going to impact the school and the future. The ING Direct Chair in Finance, I think, will really help Ivey and its students to continue to be global leaders and innovators in the area of finance, and put Canada and our businesses and this school in even a better position to navigate the uncertainty of this area in the future. So it's been a great pleasure, I must say, to work with Louise and Kelly and Carol, Jim and Arkadi to make today happen. So thank you guys all very, very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Peter. One of the greatest strengths of the school is the enduring commitment of the alumni. Like faculty and students, our alumni are our strongest champions and they're supporters, but at the same time, they push us. They keep our feet to the fire, and this is a good thing because it makes us better. So I would like to thank you as alumni for keeping our feet to the fire. And there is no one that keeps my feet to the fire more than Arkadi Kuhlmann, the chair of our board. He is a very committed leader. He's an inspiration to me. He's a role model, I think, to many of us, certainly to me, to the students, to the faculty alike. And his commitment goes above and beyond what you would expect from a normal alum. I already mentioned he chairs our advisory board. He also is co-chairing the fundraising campaign. He dedicates so many hours every year to Ivey. He's personally hired and mentored many students. He's enrolled his own leadership team in Ivey programs. He promotes the school at every opportunity around the world, because I run into people on the plane that tell me I ran into Arkadi and he was talking about Ivey. He's volunteered case study opportunities. He's taught in our classroom, and I know that is a highlight for our MBA students when they hear from Arkadi. And he's contributed to the success of the case classes, which we are renowned for. Nobody is more committed to ensuring that Ivey faculty continue to have the resources that they need to succeed in developing the very best leaders, the very best research that maybe could be a bit controversial from time to time if you know Arkadi, but it's essential if this country is going to be successful that we do push the boundaries. We do ask ourselves the tough questions. It is the faculty who have the luxury, the intelligence, and the time and the obligation to actually push the areas of learning and knowledge. In 2004, Arkadi contributed $500,000 personally to build the Leenders Professors Emeriti Lounge. And this fall, Arkadi made another $1 million contribution to build the Michael Leenders Lounge for faculty, staff, and Professor Emeriti in Ivey's new building. And Michael, I see that you're here today, so thank you so much for joining us on this very momentous occasion. I know you and Arkadi have a very special relationship, and Louise as well. Arkadi is absolutely passionate about Ivey's ability to make a real difference in the world. All you need to do is listen to him. He deeply believes that it is in the future belongs to the students that we are graduating. They are the leaders that are going to take us wherever we're going in this very complex world. So he is extremely committed to that. I am so pleased to invite Arkadi to say a few words to us. Arkadi.
Well, good morning, everyone, and what a pleasure to be here on such a great day. So thank you very much for spending a bit of time and joining us this morning. Thank you, Mr. President, for your kind words, and Dean Stephenson, thank you for that introduction. I wish I could use it for my performance review with my board. It means I would actually maybe get a bonus this year. But let me start by saying it is such a wonderful opportunity to be here today and just share with you a few of the perspectives about the great mission of Ivey and the Richard Ivey sort of program of continuing the education of business leaders. As I stand here today in front of you, I've got here in the audience, I've got Larry Wynant, who's actually one of my classmates, And of course, I've got my mentor and professor, Michael Landers, here, and it's kind of a really rare opportunity that I get to actually be in a room with things that go back that far in our history, right? But let me say this about the school. If I think back about my career, it is really the foundation and the platform that I actually started with here at Ivey that basically put a lot of things into perspective that kind of kept me going forward to find out the opportunities and do what's right and share with a set of values that I think have guided me through my business career in terms of trying to do the right thing for the broader good. And as luck would have it, I had then the privilege, of course, of starting ING Direct with Peter and Jim, my two colleagues, and our 4,000 other associates that work with us every day who are pretty delighted to sort of see that the mission that we're able to carry out is basically also to do not only a bit of disruptive business, but basically to do something that we think we can be fundamentally proud of, and that means that we have nothing to be ashamed of and we have a clear conscience with our customers. And what that actually means is that sometimes you do sacrifice some profit and you don't take any shortcuts and you stay in for the long run. And we've been able to master that program, and I think we've made an impact in the business world, which I'm sure that the students here at Ivey is what their long-term objective is, right, to make a difference in the world, to make the world a better place for all of us. The school, of course, and I've had a privilege of serving with Carol and the advisory board, and I think it's been a tremendous experience for me to be able to not only give back, but to learn and to understand how the academic world works, and I can attest to you that it works quite differently than my normal world every day, so I'm learning a whole different set of skills that maybe I might be able to use somewhere else. But there are tremendous supporters for the school, of who I'm happy to count myself as one. The advisory board, for one, is a strong supporter of the school. The alumni associations is a collection of tremendous individuals that carry on the network and the thoughts and the leadership of the programs here. And then, of course, it's the faculty. As you've already heard, the building from the capital campaign is something that's very important in terms of continuing on the thread of change and creating energy and passion for the challenges tomorrow. Then there's the student body here. Many of you that have come here for a very specific reason, and you need the environment to be able to make your education fulfill its potential. But it's really the faculty that create the spark plugs. And for the faculty here today, my deepest thank you for your passion, loyalty, and service to education. And it's with that we, Jim and Peter and I, particularly, and people at ING Direct, right, really are very excited about this chair in finance. We believe it's one of a number of chairs that need to be created to continue our campaign. But we think that thought leadership, along with the cross-enterprise and the kind of leaders that we're building, is going to be one of those pivotal kinds of events that can basically help define us in the marketplace so we can do our part in terms of dropping that pebble in the water and creating the ripples, around not only Canada but also globally through our alumni and the partnerships that we have. So all what I can say to you is I'm honored to be here. I'm delighted to be able to continue my service with the school. I'm honored to be able to work with two of my colleagues, Peter and Jim, and we're able to carry on some good things to help Ivey fulfill its potential. So with your help and your ongoing dedication, we'll get the job done, and we thank you for all your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Arkadi. I am Rod White. I'm Associate Dean for Faculty and Research. Arkadi, Peter, and Jim, it's my pleasure on behalf of the Ivey faculty and staff, and especially on behalf of the members of the finance team, to add my sincere thanks to both ING Direct Canada and USA. I'd also like to personal note here, my job responsibilities include the recruitment, development, and retention of faculty. It's gifts like this that make my job a lot easier, so thank you for making my job easier. The ING Direct Chair in Finance will play a vital role in our recruitment efforts over this next year and coming years. Our overall plan, and it is already well underway, is to implement a strategy to attract 20 experienced faculty this year to the Ivey Business School from across Canada, the U.S., and internationally. At least 3 of these positions will be full-time finance faculty. So far, we've been fairly quick out of the gate already. I'm pleased to announce we have 4 new faculty that have already signed on board to start in July 2010. So we're doing very well so far on our recruitment strategy. There are a couple of challenges as Ivey goes forward, and Carol's already alluded to these. One is our program growth. That drives our need for more great faculty. We also have, shall I say, looming retirements. There's an aging demographic in our faculty. I see Larry Wynett over there. He's on, I'm sorry to say, Larry phased retirement. Yes, those of us with gray hair, and the university has just instituted a retirement incentive program that isn't going to help our situation. Sorry about that, Anna, but those are that is the situation that we confront, and that may work for ING. I'm not sure it's working for us, but yeah. Anyway, we need to ensure that there continue to be a strong faculty foundation to support our programs and the development of outstanding business leaders that come from our programs. The situation is also such that the global demand for faculty is growing more intense. There are hundreds of new business schools around the world, many of these in China, Russia, India, Brazil, those kinds of countries are really expanding their business education. And the market for faculty is global. And the competition is tough. And Ivey has standards, has very demanding standards when it comes to faculty and our expectations from faculty. As all of you know, Ivey has a unique and enduring teacher-scholar model. And this means that its real challenges lie not so much in the number of faculty we need to hire, which is a considerable number, but as in the limited pool of potential candidates who meet our requirements. We need faculty who will thrive in our case study environment. Compromising on faculty quality is not an option for us, and success at Ivey requires a very special type of academic leader and scholar. They are researchers who are recognized thought leaders and innovators in their field, and at the same time, they are strong and passionate educators who love being in a case classroom with their students. A creative and attractive recruitment package is essential to bring this kind of faculty member to Ivey. Chairs, such as the ING Direct Chair, are essential to this effort. It will help Ivey grow its finance faculty, complement with world-class educators. Top academics want to be in an environment where they will be inspired, supported, and challenged by their peers, where their work will be valued and have impact. The ING Chair in Finance represents both the resources to achieve and the ability to have real-world impact. It will be a tremendous asset in our search for an outstanding finance faculty member to join the Ivey team. I'd like to thank, again, Arkadi, Peter, and Jim for helping Ivey lead the way. Thank you very much.
So just before we close, and I invite you to stay and join us for some lunch, I have a very special little gift for each of you. There are a few things that we didn't talk about Arkadi that you don't know, or maybe you do. One is that he drives a motorcycle. And I understand he is the cover boy for Costco magazine on 8 million copies apparently going out with Arkadi on a motorcycle. He's also graced the cover of In Touch, not quite 8 million copies yet, but we're getting there. So we figured he needs something to wear on that motorcycle, so when the 8 million copies are distributed around the world, he'll have an Ivey something on. So Arkadi, we have a jacket for you. And Peter and Jim, quit laughing, you're next. now that we have an even deeper and stronger relationship, and you started the dialogue with the finance faculty this morning, which I know will be continuing, and we know you'll be back in the classroom, and you'll be worried about what to wear. We also have jackets for each of you, so please come up and accept your Ivey jackets.
Of course, you know, Carol, that the next one will have to be leather, right?
When the fundraising campaign closes, it will be leather. Anyway, please join us for lunch, and thanks again for a wonderful morning.